It's Glenn Metz Jr., aka Shite, and this is my story.
What's your story?
Gotcha. So for the people who don't know, all right, tell them where you from.
I'm from uptown, Callio Project. My mom, my dad, of course, out the Callio Project, so that's where I started from. Um, Moved around a little bit. Went down. My grandmother went downtown. What's my other grandmothers in the Callio still, but my mom grandmother moved downtown in the Seven Ward. That's why I got Seven Ward connections too. So yeah. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
So for the people who don't know, all right, tell them, and who your mom is as well.
My mom, she's her name Pamela Taylor. She's a registered nurse. She's been getting it out the mud since I was born. Like she was like 16 years old, and still going, still getting it. You know what I mean, holding it down for me and my siblings.
Because, but some people might believe, like Danielle probably was your mom. So that's why I said,
That's a fact, and that's a fact. I get that a lot. I get that a lot. That your mom, but she is my stepmom, so she is my mother. You know what I'm saying? She was like a mother to me. So you know what I mean. So yes, a lot of people I get the question asked. How's your mom? This, that, and the other, and I be like, because I know she's good, and I'm always speak positive about it. You know what I mean? Because she was always good to me from day one. So what I mean?
Yeah, but I want to joke about the gun because I didn't want people to believe this whole, hey, but that was your mama too
right.
as well.
They do, and they don't realize the age difference. I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? So Danielle is like probably what? Man, I can't think of her because when she about 6 years older than me, 7 years older than me.
So your dad had, he had a Majuve, yeah?
Yeah, he had a, how they go, we had a Majuve. I got one too, so, my wife 10 years younger than me, so I get it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So, growing up for yourself, meeting your other, siblings as well, but how was it for you, when, well, bring me to the day when you found out really who your dad was.
To me, it's like certain things, but see, it was never no chat about, oh, that's such and such, that's such and such. So for me, it was dad, you know what I mean? So it was no different, you know what I mean? Like we hung together, we played ball together, we did everything, you know what I'm saying? We did everything together. So it's like that side of what people know of, I didn't really see that side. You know what I'm saying?
Dad.
He was my dad, so I don't glorify the other side. The other side's the other side. That was you know what I'm saying? Like I say, one thing about life is the enemy gonna give you the first thing. Like the devil blesses people as well as God blesses people. So he threw the first thing at him. They figured out he could take care of his siblings, and he went with it. Not to believe anything he would have touched, he'd have been successful with it. Not just, and I don't classify that as success. Like, you got the stories of, he was the biggest, he was this, he was that. Yeah, all that stuff could be true. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like anything he would have did, anything he would have touched would have been big. Just because it always hit the mean, he was small, he was ahead of the game. Like, he was light years ahead of everybody, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha. So, but how old were you when your dad actually got, arrested?
Well, when he got picked up by the feds, I was 17. So, we was in Vegas, cause he already he had to move to Las Vegas. So, he was actually living in Vegas. Once I graduated from high school, went to Vegas. We spent the summer in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I was supposed to coming right back. We left in August. Like August 8th, August 5th, something like that, in that range. And then I was about to double back because I was gonna go to school up there. So, but then we left. They kicked in the door the next morning. So we on the plane going back. By the time we landed the next morning, they was already kicking in the door. They waited for us to leave, and then they kicked in the door. And then they went, you know what I'm saying, took it, you know what I'm saying.
So as soon as he got arrested, everybody don't think like, man, shit, if this is it. This be the last time I'm gonna see my dad on the street.
I mean, the thing about it is that when he got picked up, we just like, okay, he got picked up. We already knew they wanted him anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't oblivious to that part, that, you know what I'm saying, they wanted him. So But the biggest thing about it was that, I mean, I felt like they didn't have anything. You know, you can have all the say about what he did or how he did it, whatever, whatever. But, you know, you feel like you got to prove it. They're supposed to be guilty, you know what I'm saying, innocent till proven guilty.
Right.
But not with us. It's guilty till proven innocent. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us as black people, we don't get judged like that.
Yeah, but they just wanted them.
They just wanted, man, by any means necessary. So then at the same time, like, if you after somebody for a long time, you should have all your ducks in a row when you go get them. They ain't had that. So they built the case. So, like I tell people a lot of times, they don't have to have you right. They change rules. They write rules as they go. They change the law as they go to fit whatever to get a conviction. So
if they want who they want.
Yeah, if they want you bad enough, they're gonna change everything up. They don't care. Like, you know, that's what it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, never thinking that he'll get, you know, triple life, 72 years. Come on, man, who could do that?
Yeah, but how old? How old? Was he?
He was 36.
36 when he got that time. So, like, bring me back to that day when you finally heard, you know, the time he got his sentence. And but how old were you at the time? And also,
I was 18 because he picked him up at 17. They held him a year later. So this is the thing about it. You got me right. Why it takes you a whole year to convict me, to take me to trial? Like, because you had to keep building the case. You know what I'm saying? So if I've been after you for 10 years, then
you should already have your case.
You should already have your case in hand. You should be locking, you know what I'm saying, like automatically, like let's go.
Right.
But they waited till the last, pretty much like that year they come up and then let's go. We don't care how we gone.
So like, how was life for you and your siblings after they picked him up? Because you know, like many might believe like, you know, Glenn Metz have all this millions of dollars and stuff. So like, how y'all life was after?
I mean, our life was okay. I mean, it wasn't like just this big old thing where we just were swimming in money after he was gone, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. We built our own self and our own reputation on how we move, because he trained us to be the way we are, respectful, and you know what I'm saying. We did everything we supposed to do, as even though he left us, and you know, naturally, you know what I'm saying, you cut the head of the snake off, you think, you know, the body gonna drop. You think we about to go out here and clown and act stupid too. But, you know, he was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't had to say don't come in here. Like, do whatever y'all gotta do, but don't come in here. Right. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he never thought he would go in there. No matter what he did, he like, y'all gotta prove me. Y'all gotta figure this out before y'all can say I'm guilty. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't understand the federal system at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was the guinea pig for a lot of cases. Like, they use this case for everything. They use this case for anything as a blueprint to get convictions. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a bunch of people that we call snitches and rats. You know what I'm saying? It's on an all-time high, to where they conviction rate went up to 98% once everybody start cooperating. They don't need no evidence. I don't need to get you right. I got somebody gonna tell you about this thing. Yeah, and that's what they knew. And that's all they used was that, and that's how they got the conviction, and you know what I mean. But it was a railroad situation, but it is what it is. But for me, it was like, you know, it was disheartening because, you know, I know him as dad, I know him as a person. You know what I'm saying? The person they created him out to be like this monster. I'm like, nah, that ain't him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the violence and stuff, they're attached to him. But you can't help. That's like with us. Like, we ran the streets heavy, me and my brother. We always did. We ran together. Like, that's how he raised us. Like, you would have thought we was twins. Cause you saw him, you saw me. We drove similar cars, everything. Everything we did together. But that's the way he wanted it, for us to be tight knit like that. You know what I'm saying? And stick together. But they was trying to, of course, pull that apart. But he always like, where your brother? Oh, where your brother? Oh, he right here. All right. And anytime he called, like, where you at? With my brother, we go see him. It's both of us going right up down the highway. Yeah, we're going to see him together. You know, it's not he go see him, I go see him, but we know we're going to do it together. You know what I'm saying? Just that support. You know what I mean? And he, you know, he felt like he left us. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, taking the point to where he thinking like, well, damn, bro, I left y'all. Like, man, look, it is what it is. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that name was heard, you know, in the on like streets of New Orleans, but like I think the world got a chance to hear as soon as Manny first rapped about him.
But I mean, Manny threw him in the verse, Pete threw him in the verse, Slim threw him in the Slim always talked about it because that's people that they always
looked up to.
Yeah, looked up to in that range, in that realm, because that's what he was, that, that figure. So everybody looked at how he moved and how he did.
I ain't lie, I always heard the name, but I didn't know he was like, I just thought he was a big person, like he a short man. Like you wouldn't even know, like you would think that name, you think this big giant.
The crazy part about it is like when he was in I think he was in Beaumont. And somebody said, man, Glenn Metz in here. And it's like, yeah. And so I guess they pointed in the direction. The dude ran to the biggest person in line. He like, said, what's up, Glenn? That man ain't Glenn, it's Glenn right here. He said, oh man, I thought I'm looking for this big old 6'5", 6.
If the name itself, you thought the person was
exactly. You think he's just a big old built dude or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He 5'8", 140 pounds. Little man, but it was he had the sense. He was a thinker. So
he had giant mentality.
His giant mentality. That's why I said anything he would have touched, he'd have been successful in it. But like I said, we get tricked out of our spot sometimes by taking the first opportunity that comes our way to be able to take care of our family. You know what I'm saying? So that was his whole focus was take care of his siblings and his mother. You know what I'm saying? So that was his goal. So once he did that, yes, it lingered on longer because he could have stopped. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, when they went and picked him up, he wasn't even doing nothing. He hadn't quit. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you know that they was just trying to get him because he already didn't quit. He already stopped that. So he was way in Vegas. So what he doing? He ain't way in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but they felt like he still was running it.
Yeah, because they felt like he was he can appoint people, and that's to this day. Like even talk to the lawyer. She like, well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate with y'all. Like, okay, what if I am a judge and I say, well, what if he make that call when he come home and won't get funky again? I said, I'm gonna tell you like this. I said I'm not a kid no more. I said I might put belt to ass myself to my own pops. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, I'm about to tell you.
We've been fighting too long for to get you home.
Yeah, for you to talk about do that, and I'm like, nah, I gotta be the oldest son, and said, nah, Pop, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You spent 34 years in that, but he ain't gonna do that. But the people knew that, but they knew that though.
Yeah, they just don't want certain people on the streets because they feel like they got influence.
Yeah,
and like it's looking like the people that they actually allow to come back on the streets, but it's kind of like they're trying to influence a different culture now. Yeah, they're trying to influence people who's going to cooperate with like what they want, and like they don't mind you being home.
Of course, they want. When you stand for something,
but they don't want that outside.
They don't want that outside. Because my dad, even in there, he has a big influence in there, but it's nothing negative. It's all positive. And you know what I'm saying? So they see how he carry himself. They even try to push him to the limit to see a reaction. Like, man, I'm not gonna react. That's not my character. Like, you can't make me be something I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want this big old roof dude. He's like, I ain't with all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was about making money, and that was it. I was trying to feed my family, give my kids something I ain't have when I was growing up, because his daddy wasn't in his life, so he did everything he could do to be in our life. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we felt like at some point, like, man, you know,
you just gotta let him come home.
You gotta let him come home.
He got grandkids and everything.
Yeah. And we all been going to see him. We all grandkids going to see him. You know, we've been, forever. So it's like,
but does his grandkids actually realize the magnitude and who the people actually think he is? Because they got YouTube and stuff now, so these kids on YouTube, and like I could imagine being a young grandchild and seeing my grandfather on YouTube on a clip the most dangerous person in New Orleans.
But when you know him, you're like, where he at? Where that person at? You know what I'm saying? We never saw that person. Like, if my dad cursed, he was mad. He never even cursed. Like, this man was like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no perfect person, but at the same time, if he said curse words, he was mad. He was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't his demeanor. Like, his character, like, we had the same demeanor as him. We meet mild, you know what I'm saying? We laid back, stayed to ourselves, don't bother nobody, willing to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? He was the biggest giver. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes, he was doing wrong, but he was the biggest giver in the neighborhood. He could ask anybody. They got one people that hit me on the internet still now. He said, he done paid my mama rent before. He done did this before. He did that. He was a giver at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you trying to, of course, right your wrongs, But at the same time, that was his way.
I can lie, your average person who is in the streets gonna have some type of heart for the people that's doing less because a lot of these people came from there.
Right.
So like, man, if I know how I feel and like but I know how that if that young person in the house like looking at his mama because like sometimes able to buy somebody saving a day actually saves a child because guess what, if you don't have it, somebody in the house gonna be like, man, I'm about to go out there and go get it.
Exactly. And like he told us a lot of times, like he said, even though I got all, what I'm saying, I got this, but if I give it all to y'all without nothing at stake, like go do this, go do that, go watch some cars, go do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can give y'all the world, but when I ain't here to give it to you, what you gonna do? You gonna go out here and wild out to go get it? You know what I'm saying? That was our whole demeanor. Like we not about to wild out and go get nothing. Like we gonna do what we do, but we ain't about to wild and, you know what I'm saying, to be stupid. You know what I mean? So to speak, and crash out. Nah, cause that's what they ultimately wanted. You know what I'm saying? So, and for me, it was like, hanging around certain people or hanging with, we always picked out who we was around and just hung with, So we pretty much stayed to ourselves pretty much anyway. So,
So how you feel when you be seeing these different like documentaries and articles, like about your father?
Man, it's like we can't do nothing about it because it's the internet. You know what I'm saying? So all we could do is, speak our truth about it, and it's for clickbait, and that's just the reality of it. Everybody just clicking, trying to get some traffic to their page.
Because your average person on the internet talk about like Glenn Metz probably wasn't outside when Glenn Metz was outside.
They was
like the people his age.
That's what I'm saying. Nah.
If they definitely don't know how to work, so like YouTube.
So, my dad know nothing. My dad don't know nothing about social media, none of that. Like he ain't got no phones, he ain't got nothing. He don't know nothing about none of that. So when he coming home, then he get exposed to all of that world, but he know it exists.
I think he hear about it.
He hear about it in jail because he get called. I could calls like I get the call like, man, who that is on the talking about? You know what I'm saying? I be like, man, I don't know who that is. That's just cats just talking. And he wanna be able to stop it, but I'm like, probably there's no way to stop it because it's the internet. Like, and this dude, I see dudes all the time. I get stuff all the time in my DM. Man, they talking about that. I'm like, ain't nothing I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, I heard it. I just heard something recently. On Keith Carroll's show, I name dropped, you know what I'm saying? Name dropped in somebody else's conversation. I'm like, and it was in a negative manner, but it is what it is.
Right, the crazy part is, I'm looking at social media. A lot of people just go off of what they heard one person say. They don't really have the full facts.
Right.
They just go off and then like it's really bad because you really don't know nothing about half of these people.
Nothing. They don't know nothing about it. They don't know the first thing about who Glenn Metz is, like the real life. But if you want to see in the blueprints, you gotta look at the offspring. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people all the time, like the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So if I was this crash, if my dad was a crash dummy, wild in the street, we probably picked up the same mentality.
You'd have followed it too.
Probably the same mentality. Like, but he showed us different. So we had that. We know he was a hustler. So at the end of the day, we hustle in a whole nother way. They got a million more ways to hustle. You ain't got to choose drugs. You know what I'm saying? That was the choice that was thrown to him first. That's the choice he chose. But for us, we ain't had to choose that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say we didn't dibble and dab, but at the end of the day, it's like, nah. Because we ain't trying to go in there. You know what I'm saying?
And so how life was how life was for you as one, growing up at 21 years old, trying to figure it out, and you also not knowing if the people really still looking at you and your family like, man, I'm trying to get everybody out of the way with last name Metz.
They never stop. They never stop, man. There's been times we've been pulled over, me and my brother in the truck together. We riding up Washington. I'll turn all the cell, riding up Washington. Police come behind us. My brother on the passenger side, I'm at my driver's side of my truck. One go there, get our license and like, look at the license, look at us and like, man, y'all got the same name? It's like, this is our driver's license. Yes, we both got driver's license. Like, y'all got the same name? Yeah. So it was like, damn. Yeah, just just not, they most shocked that both of us named Glenn Metz at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But they know the name. So like, damn, is that many of y'all? Yeah, it's actually 6 of us. It ain't his kids, but it's our offspring.
Right.
But yeah.
If you keeping the name alive.
Yeah, gotta keep it alive, man.
So like, hey, but how was that, growing up having a brother named Glenn as well?
Man, it was
Glenn 1, Glenn 2?
It was, I was, well, he had a nickname, so I was, they just called me Lil Glenn. So I was Lil Glenn, and my brother went by his nickname. So we knew the difference, but we never Like I said, we dressed alike, we looked alike. Everything we did it together. You know what I'm saying? As one, like, cause that's how jam he wanted us to be. So, and that's, to this day, we talk every day. Like if we ain't talking, something ain't wrong. Might get a break one day, but next day we on that phone chopping it up. And just chopping it up about real life, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So but you moved out of New Orleans. So what actually made you actually move out of New Orleans?
Well, like I said, Katrina moved me in '05. So if not, I'll still be here. But I didn't think Katrina was going. Well, I wasn't gonna be able to come back, but well, I could have came back anyway. But when Katrina hit, I just wound up, going to Atlanta, and just starting a whole new life, whole new process. You know what I'm saying? So, and growing, like I said, being with my dad, like we always traveled anyway. So for us, it's like going adapt to another situation is nothing. You know what I'm saying? We could have went to Texas, went to Atlanta, could have went to Vegas, wherever. We already knew how to go live in different places because we was already doing that type of stuff, traveling. So different type of scenery was nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing leaving New Orleans. Cause it's more to life than here. New Orleans is small. It's a small part of my life, a big part of my life, but small to where I could venture out and go. You take the same mentality, the hustle mentality you had here. Because if you come from here, you can make it anywhere. Like, for real. Like, because the odds against us here anyway. You know what I'm saying? They got the largest jail population here because they want everything to be to fill up in jail. So, for us, it's like they ain't putting no opportunities out here for us to do what we need to do in New Orleans like you should. So you got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying?
So you was and so you was saying that you could be anywhere like you could be New Orleans anywhere you go. Like you wouldn't. Hey, but you done went to the A, but you done opened up one like restaurant and like multiple businesses. And so what made you like just even keep that spirit from New Orleans?
Because it's just a mentality. Like a lot of people from New Orleans love the A. They love to go to the A, especially when we got the rivalry games, football season, Saints, Falcons, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So they come out there. So I was like, in the past, Cap Charles was the only one who was really doing something in the A. You know what I'm saying? For the Saints Atlanta weekend. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to start, start giving people some other looks, some other places to come look at and come see. So we created the whole day parties, stuff like that. I started doing the day parties, doing watch parties and all that kind of stuff there to get people somewhere to come if they don't go to the game. You know what I'm saying? It used to go down. It should be love. We missed the old spot though. Shout out to 255. Everybody know if you've been in the A, you've been on that block on Peter Street. That's 255. That was classic. We miss it. We miss it dearly.
But do you plan on opening anything else up?
Not really, cause that side of it, they you still got lounges out there now. Like Atlanta changed a lot though. You know what I'm saying, from the times when we first got out here. And like I said, shout out to my business partner at that time, Mario, which he still got his other spots out there. That's who kind of, linked up like, man, whatever you want to do, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? He came to me like, man, let's whatever you want to do. It's making money. We're gonna make money. Let's do it. So I was like, all right, cool. But like I said, he got a couple spots still out there. So I shout out to him. He opened that door for me, really, like to get my brand out there like that, and to get my, as far as that side of it going. You know what I'm saying? Because I deal with other stuff too. I deal with, people don't realize like I'm in the pest control industry, which people don't really look at that. They feel like, but every house needs pest control. Every house needs termite. You know what I'm saying? That's a big old industry that a lot of people don't even talk about. That we got going on too out there in the A. So, and that's a lot of millionaires that do that. That people don't even know that they're millionaires, but that's a solid a solid movement.
I got a partner in Dallas making a lot of money on pest control.
It's a solid. You got to be in your own
Everybody
lane.
got pissed.
You got to be in your own lane, brother. So it's like you got that entity, and you could go.
And so, what made you actually get into that?
Just a friend of mine who was into it. He started his own thing, and he was already telling me, like, say, bro, I'm already making like. I think when I first talked to him, when he first told me like the year he told me, he had made like 1.5, and this was 2000. This probably was 2000. 2008, he already had made him 1.5 in his company. So I'm like, and that's so imagine what he got to be 3 million and beyond by at this point. That was years ago. So yeah, so it's a big industry though.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. If they take a different type of individual and go get one possum and
Yeah, see that's that's a wild lifestyle. I don't fool with that. That's above my pay grade. That's above my pay grade.
If I heard you get paid a lot to take it out somebody else.
They do. They get paid a lot of money. Now, I have instances of that, but I don't.
Yeah, but even snakes.
Yeah, I don't deal with that.
You don't deal with none of that.
I don't fool with that. I got
put insects in.
Yeah, I got people for that, but I don't deal with that.
I ain't going up there.
No, I ain't going.
I was thinking a different type of person.
I ain't going to trap none of that. I ain't going to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? People probably laugh. I know it's going to shock a lot of people to hear that, but like that's a big old, like if anybody want to start a business, like it ain't going nowhere. Like bugs and insects and you know what I'm saying, that we talk about on but it's not going nowhere. Like real talk. Like they ain't going nowhere. They're gonna be here as long as you living.
Yeah. And like every time you open up one brand new neighborhood, but they think they still live there.
And they constantly building. How it's like.
But I live in a brand new neighborhood, so I can tell you, I know like all them insects and snakes and everything that they built it over. Yeah. Them things think they still live there.
Oh yeah, they gonna because they're there. Like the termites ain't going nowhere because they live underground, so they there forever unless you kill them. You know what I'm saying? Unless you killing them. You know what I mean? So that's just a whole nother life that, you know what I'm saying, you can get into. You know what I'm saying? If anybody looking to do something different, tap in.
It's gonna make you some money.
Tap in. Trust me. It like they might laugh when they hear this, but at the end of the day, like tap in. I tell you,
pest control where the money at.
Man, look, it's a secret little thing, and it's constantly going on. You know what I'm saying? Like because they ain't going nowhere. So for me, it's like I tell anybody like if I'm in it. They got some money in it. I ain't doing nothing that ain't gonna make me no money to take care of my family. Period. Like when I was here, people don't believe, I was driving taxis here before Katrina happened. I was a cab driver.
And I heard cab drivers, it made a lot of money. Man. It's a little dangerous in New Orleans, but
I had my days where, you know what I'm saying, when I was here before Katrina, like I ain't had no scares. Of course I had, you know what I'm saying, I had my strap, but I wasn't never in fear of nothing because everything was touristy. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying. So I had to deal with a lot of.
But you know what? Like you was from here,
so you from here, so I knew what to pick up. If I felt a vibe about something, you ain't had to pick up the load. You know what I'm saying. You had to pick up the rider. You had a vibe. Like there's been times I done, but you know at that time, like even when I was doing that, it was so many of us doing it. Like me and my partner, we was like 10 of us doing it. So like anytime we felt like something was like kind of like
off,
suspect off, we picking up that phone. Like I had a situation where I had to pick up the dude right here off of where he was at. He was off I think it was off Magazine. He just had got off of work. But he come out the door. I ain't even seen him. I took the call off the radio. So he came out with the hoodie on. I ain't sure, you know what I'm saying? Of course I ain't sure no fear. I got you know what I'm saying? I got me. So but he right there. As long as he's to the right of me, I'm good. I can see my peripherals, I can see what's going on. So I ain't sure no fear. I ain't tell him to take his hood off or nothing. Like I'm good. So he was going on St. Rock. I said, all right, cool. So I called my partner up. I said, say yeah. I said, you still need that? He like, yeah. I said, meet me on St. Rock. I'm about to drive on St. Rock and I've got on the street, St. Rock and Miro. I said, come meet me on St. Rock and no Miro. He's like, all right, I'll pull up. I'm gonna pull up. Now he don't know if somebody about to really meet me on St. Rock and Miro, but if he think about running,
if he
thinking about route, he got to adjust his whole plan. Right. So he was good though. He paid whatever, and went on got out the cab. You know what I'm saying?
But threw him off.
I threw him off. Yeah, you know you got to do that. There's been times where we got other dudes see the gun in the dude pocket he picked up. My other partner calling us like, look, I'm on 610. And I said, well, I'm on I-10. Like we meet up right at the split, and then he see me, I see him, and it just happened to be right there simultaneously. He called me. I said, man, I'm going to the airport too. He going to Kenner. And the dude had the bang in his pocket. He saw it. So we ride and we meet up. We see each other, tap up. So he's saying it too, like we own it, man. And I had no load. I was just riding that way, and we just happened to just ride and merge together.
Like we own you.
Yeah, we own it. So whatever you trying to try, we own it. And I'm following him from there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, you had to, but it's like I said, like 10 of us doing it. So we all was like click clack. If anybody feel like they're in some type of danger, some type of trouble, we just call it next. Like, man, where you at? Yeah, meet me about, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to drive over on such and such. come meet me about such and such so I can give you that. You know what I'm saying? So that's drawing cats all the way up. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Gotcha. And so what's next for you after pest control, everything? Like, man, you plan on retiring? What you gonna do?
I mean, I got that. You know, then we still got the deal with the houses and stuff like that too with real estate. So, so that's always there. That ain't going nowhere. But no, who knows? Well, I know. Matter of fact, we about to try to do something. Me and the wife about to do something and do open up a hair school. So we got that in the works. So yeah, we got some of that going on. So that's a whole nother lane too. So because everybody won't do hair, everybody won't be barbers, everybody won't be stylists.
Yeah, and people nails, want to be like fashion designers, everything, right?
Nails, estheticians, so doing something like that, and you know what I'm saying, and that's our dream. So we trying to push that through. Cause she's a master cosmetologist, so she, you know what I'm saying, so she trying to get that off the ground. We're gonna get that off the ground, and for me, but like I said, for me, it's like it's whatever, whatever. Like I said, with pest control, they ain't going nowhere. Like I said, the club things and stuff like that, the lounge stuff, it's cool, but it done changed. It done changed a lot. Like the party life, it's still there, but it's for the younger generation now at this point. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really getting out in the street like we used to get out in the street. It ain't the same like it used to be when we first got out there. It done changed tremendously.
Gotcha. So, and also, and last but not least, tell the world, what can they find you on social media and everywhere else?
You can find me on social media, on Instagram. It's the real shite. I think it's the real shite, bitch. B-I-H. Not bitch, but how we say bitch. And I'm on TikTok too. Should be Mr. 504, I believe. I forgot what I be naming myself stuff, and I be forgetting what it be my damn self. Yeah, I be forgetting what my name is.
You gotta look for it, huh?
Yeah, I gotta look for it. It's shite, B-I-H, shite bit. You know what I'm saying? Mr. 504. Mr. 504, because that's my brand too. Like I got my Metz Life brand and my 504. Cause I merged the 504 with the 404. So I got the 504. So I got that brand too on my with my business too. So I do that too. I was doing the t-shirts, the hoodies, and all that type of stuff there too. Like I got the jacket on, got the patches and stuff like that. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, but all right. Hey, man, we done.
If you ain't on no